Hello friends, Manoj Agrawal here from Banking Frontiers. Today I have with me Priya Nadkarni. She is the head of Digital Partnerships, Alliances and Institutional Business at Tata Capital. Priya, welcome to this conversation.
Thank you. Thanks.
So Priya, everything in this world is changing. I presume that's the case for partnerships as well. We all want stable partnerships, but there are qualitative and quantitative aspects of partnerships. So, being in this space, what are the changes you are seeing in terms of qualitative approaches and quantitative achievements, let's say?
Thanks. I think that's a great question. Firstly, I think one of the era of partnerships is one where you see more collaborative partnerships between equals, between organizations that bring different kinds of skills to the party. Especially in the last 4 years with the entire emergence of fintechs and fintech specifically coming into digital lending, the entire landscape has changed.
Hmm.
So you rightly pointed out about qualitative and quantitative aspects. And to be honest, I think in the BFSI industry, growth is the only constant, right? There is never a time that you will see any organization saying no growth. So growth is paramount. And I think the most important aspects, and I'll touch upon the quantitative aspect, I'll come to the qualitative as well, is that with the kind of landscape that some of these TSPs bring for us, the ability to reach out to a very, very large ecosystem and the choice of ecosystem that you want to go to increases manifold. It's the first part on the quantitative aspect.
Correct.
Right. And from there on, it's not static. It's constantly changing, right? There are more and more entities coming into lending. There are more and more non-financial entities coming into lending because, they see lending really being the fuel for their own businesses.
Correct.
Right? Whether
Absolutely.
it is e-com players, whether they are food chains, they are consumer companies. So I see this area transforming further, and I don't think it will ever be bereft of growth or the way the consumer expectations are changing. This area is only going to grow. So TSPs clearly bring us scale,
Okay.
from a partnership context
Uh-huh.
and the ability to choose, right? Because,
Okay.
scale is one thing, but I may have, as Tata Capital, a certain set of partners I want to work with for whatever reason, right? There may be certain geographies I want to restrict it to.
Absolutely.
So those are aspects that, that TSPs enable for us. I think the other qualitative part is the most important aspect, right?
Okay.
Because growth is something that they naturally bring, but the kind of problems they solve for us as entities, as lending entities, and the agility with which those problems are solved is something that I want to touch upon. One very important aspect is marrying technology architectures of two organizations is one of the most critical aspects of a partnership, because the entire orchestration is digital. The entire lending programs are digital in nature. So technology plays a very, very, very important role in ability to deliver. Right? So while there could be intent can only manifest when the technology actually puts it into practice. So I think the most important part and most valuable aspect that a TSP brings is the ability to solve these aspects from a technology context.
Right.
From there on, I see some of an ideal TSP going to solve problems for both the originating entity as well as the investing entity.
Lending,
yeah. And to me, I think this is one of the most important aspects of what an entity like ourselves, like an organization, like a large lending organization would want. Because while we have our existing technology infrastructure, sometimes, those pipes that need to be bridged is what you need to kind of address, with speed being the most important aspect. So there is no problem that can't be solved by technology, although how soon it can be solved is one aspect. The other most important problem that, these entities help us solve is that they are cross-bordering with entities across, right? and they are solving problems for everybody.
Correct.
So a problem that I am perhaps trying to solve for my organization is already solved for by somebody, which enables my ability to solve it faster.
Absolutely.
Right. So I think these are some of the aspects that will really take lending to the next level.
Interesting.
And the ability of most organizations to come together into a partnership and deliver value to customers goes up significantly.
That's interesting. So if you summarize qualitative and quantitative, do you find partners that give you both?
Yes.
Or do you
why
have to
not?
work with multiple partners?
Yes, I think yes to both, right?
Okay.
There are partners wherein both aspects come hand in hand. Most choice of partners would be wherein, you have the ability to scale and be relevant to that partner. And similarly, that partner is relevant to you. Because in lending partnerships, there's a significant amount of effort that goes in from both entities as well as, service providers who are providing service. If there isn't scale, it will not do justice to the kind of work and effort that goes in. So scale is, I think, intrinsic to partnerships.
Scale
Anyone
is a
who's
given.
getting into partnerships is looking to kind of get scale. And to your point on qualitative, I think most lending entities are anyways in some form and manner guided by the regulator, right? If not directly by virtue of being a regulated entity, by virtue of the lending guidelines that come in from time to time.
Correct.
So I think the need to kind of build that qualitative layer is there for everybody, which becomes a hygiene element.
Okay.
So we see more and more partners which are coming in being more aligned on the qualitative aspects.
So that's probably where they need to work harder, because technology per se is designed to scale.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely right. And I think that's really what will cut ice, in terms of who makes the cut in terms of growing large, because the compliance and the regulatory requirements are always the most strong fundamental of a good business. So,
correct. In fact, they're non-negotiable.
Absolutely. So, I think to your point on whether an entity can be both, yes, it has to be at some point in time. If
it has
is
to
not,
evolve on both levels.
Yes.
So, out of all this, what is the benefit that Tata Capital has derived? To what scale has your partnerships and alliances expanded?
So we currently work with a myriad of partners, and so while book growth is one aspect, we've seen the book growing significantly over the last 2 years, especially on the back of multitude of partners, but also the depth that we have gotten with some of our partners who we started with.
Okay.
And we have technology service providers who actually lead some of the growth with us, being able to make us more agile, being able to give us the ability to onboard partners sooner. So it has been a very overwhelming journey for us, Manoj, because we have seen growth together as an ecosystem, with some of our partners also having started small. We currently have a very rich book, because that book is performing very well. So I think while one aspect is growth, but growing it responsibly, I think is what is more meaningful, and that's what we are seeing with our choice of partners and our service providers all coming together.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Good to know about this perspective and the outcomes that you're achieving, and looking forward to meeting you again and hearing how these things are developing further.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Priya. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.